in the chat.
Okay. Hi everyone, this is the 11 o'clock 10 to 13 webinar. I hope you're joining us today. Hope you're happy. So please let us know what your name is, where you come from. We love to hear from you. Don't think anyone is with us now, so maybe we'll save the introductions. Okay.
Oh, wait,
so
there we go.
we have, hooray! Welcome everyone. So I'm Emily, and I'm from Milan Meraviglio, the Meraviglio School. Originally, I'm from England, from the middle of England. My city is not that interesting, to be honest. It's called Wolverhampton, if you are interested. And I'm here with my colleague today.
Yeah, my name is Cesar. I'm also from Milan Meraviglio. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, but I grew up in Florida, in a small town near Orlando.
Great. Oh, we have Chiara. Hi, Chiara. Welcome.
From Genova.
From Genova.
From
Amazing.
Genova. Wow. Welcome.
I don't think I've had anyone from Genova before. Okay. Patrizia also from Livorno. Welcome, Patrizia.
Welcome, Patrizia.
Great. So we're going to talk about tongue twisters today. Let us know, what do you think tongue twisters are?
Hi, Lavinia.
What do they do? Hi, Lavinia.
Joining us from Milan.
Great. Yeah, I always say it's a good way to make new friends, these webinars. All over the country.
Absolutely.
So what are tongue twisters? Hi, Luca, also.
Welcome, Luca.
Bologna.
Welcome from Bologna.
Okay. So, Cesar, do you like tongue twisters?
Oh, I love tongue twisters, but I suck at tongue twisters.
Oh, no. Why is that, do you think?
Because they are hard.
Mm-hmm.
They are designed to be hard to pronounce or hard to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think I used to be better at them, but I think I get worse now. We have some more people. We have Anna Maria, Julia.
Welcome. Giacomina.
Giacomina. Welcome, everyone. Nice to hear from you.
Welcome.
Yeah. So if I move forward, so here we are. We have quite a fun picture here. But mostly we're talking about tongue twisters and phrasal verbs related to talking, speaking, which are quite useful because that's often what you do in English. So maybe a way to communicate with people. So here are some tongue twisters. We should probably explain what tongue twisters are before we go any further. Do you want to take that, Cesar?
Yes, so tongue twisters are usually sentences or little kind of stories with a lot of similar sounds, and they're usually a little bit hard to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have Patrizia there who also says that. So well done there, Patrizia.
Oh yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, stories with words with similar sounds. Yeah, so your tongue has to dance really to try to say these.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this question, the title "Say What" is quite a good title. So captures my confusion a lot trying to say them. Okay, so I think it's the moment for us to show how bad we are at tongue twisters. And those of you at home, if you want to have a go as well at some of these tongue twisters, please do. Let us know if they're easy for you, difficult for you. So I I will embarrass myself and take the first one here. So we have around the rugged
Do you the
rocks, the
honor.
ragged rascals run. So maybe that is one of the easier ones with the R's. Around the rugged rocks, the ragged rascals ran.
Maybe for us.
No.
One of the easier ones for us, maybe.
Yes, for us, because of the way we say the R sound, maybe.
Exactly.
And in tongue twisters, does the meaning of the stories matter? Is it important? Does it have a meaning?
I don't think so.
What do you think?
I think most of the time it's nonsense.
Yeah, it's quite fun. I think children often enjoy tongue twisters for that reason. Yeah. Are there many tongue twisters in Italian?
I think there are, yeah. There are quite a few. I've managed to learn a few, but obviously I cannot say them as fast as Italians.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I think in English I can usually say them, but quite slowly.
So
exactly. It's one of the dangers. But so as we read through these guys, the meaning is not so important. But if you do have any questions about any words, then please do ask if you want to. Cesar, do you want to have a go at the second one?
Yeah. Okay. I'll try it out. Let's see. So, we surely shall see the sun shine soon.
Great.
Okay, this one wasn't that bad. It looks worse than it really is.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe one that we need to say when it rains a lot of the time. We have a Dos Giordano commenting here. We have red lorry, yellow lorry, which is the British equivalent of the third one. I think the third one is more American. Is that right, Cesar?
Is it?
I think
I had never really heard that one before. Well, maybe I think I might have heard it, but it's not one of the more common ones, at least.
Well,
red leather, yellow.
I know. Red lorry, yellow lorry is also or maybe red car, yellow car, which is not so fun. Is also a game that people play in cars on long journeys. Counting the numbers of red cars or yellow cars you see.
Oh yeah, red car or yellow car too, or what's the other one? Yellow buggy, for example. Do you guys do that as well?
Yeah, I think yellow car is more common, but you can.
Yeah, I think we play like yellow car, but then if you find like a yellow buggy, that's like worth, I don't know, 10 points or something like that.
Yeah. That's just reminded me that red lorry, yellow lorry. This is taking me back to my childhood games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And guys, in the comments, if you play any of these games, if you have any other tongue twisters, let us know. Do you enjoy them? Do you dislike them? Please, we love to hear your stories about them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which one do you think is hardest here?
In this list? Okay, let's see. So, red leather, yellow. Oh gosh. Okay, that's tough. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. He threw 3 free throws. Okay, that one's not that bad. The sixth sheep is sick. Okay, I think the fifth one is probably the hardest one here.
Okay, let me have a go at that one. The sixth ship.
Yeah, exactly.
Sheep is sick. It's hard because you go from a very short I sound to a long E sound.
Exactly. So and then you've also got the switch between the th and the s.
Yeah.
And then even the sh as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So between everything there, maybe that's the worst one. So
we've got a comment here from Giordano. No selling of seashells.
We'll get to that. We have that in a moment.
Got that one in the works.
I know. We need to warm up for that one.
Exactly. So Patricia here says we have tongue twisters in our language. Would you like to share one with us, Patricia? Your favorite, maybe?
Yeah, we'd love to hear any more. Okay. I don't think we can put off the long ones anymore. So
Yeah,
these are the most, probably in British English anyway, the most common ones.
yeah.
Even if
In
you
American
don't
English as
do
well.
the full ones, we probably you don't do all of it,
Yeah,
but it's very very long here. Patrizia agreed from the previous slide. The hardest was the last one. I hope you were trying at home as well.
yeah.
Right.
Don't worry, we
So
can't hear you, so don't be embarrassed.
yes, I mean you saw how badly I did.
Yeah.
So don't worry. Okay, so shall we have a go at one or both of these?
Yeah, let's do them both. Why not, right?
Okay.
YOLO.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, we'll confuse everyone. So
Exactly.
maybe because I did so badly with the previous one, I'll take the first one here. So we have
Okay.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
All right. And I think this
So
one's interesting because of the T here. It makes it sound completely different in American English and in British English.
yeah, that's a good point.
And I think
Yeah.
it also changes kind of like the difficulty. I don't know if it makes it easier
Mm.
for me or easier for you in this case.
Yes, because you say more of a D sound, right? For
Exactly. I would say instead of
yeah.
Peter Piper, I would say Peter Piper, but the R
Yeah.
would be harder, while your
hmm
R is I forgot what it's called. Rhotic? Rhotic
No,
R?
yours is rhotic.
Ah,
Rhotic.
mine is.
I
Okay,
think
okay.
when you
Okay.
because you pronounce the R because
Okay, there
British
you go.
English it's just a vowel really. It's just a vowel
Exactly.
sound.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you can. It's easier to say that in a sentence.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and
If you're used to it.
yes, well that's very true. Trying to imitate it, maybe not so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Can you do a British accent?
I can do a very bad British accent.
Okay.
The thing is, whenever I try to do a British accent, I don't do an English accent. I don't do a Scottish accent. I do a British accent, as in,
Okay.
different cities, different regions. It all just comes together in one.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I once
Yeah.
knew someone who had hardly ever left England, but
Yeah.
he had the most European accent I have ever heard.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was so strange. He sounded like he was originally Polish or Eastern European
Oh.
with the way he spoke, a lot of vowels and things. But
Yeah.
he was from like near London.
Oh
So
wow.
it was very weird. I mean, didn't watch many international films, so it happens, life
Yeah.
life is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Now we come full circle with Italy. Life is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're still waiting on those tongue twisters in your language, Patrizia.
Yeah. Some
Okay,
Italian tongue twisters. Yeah.
shall we have a go at the second one? Do you want to have a
All
go
right.
at this one, Cesar?
All right. So here says she, but I think it's normally Sally.
Oh, see, I have always heard she. Maybe
Oh
that's an
yeah.
American British difference.
Ah yeah. No. Normally we say like Sally sells seashells.
That's easier though. That's easier.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I
Interesting.
think instead of on the seashore, we say by the seashore, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
I've
Sally
heard
sells
both. I think
seashells by
yeah.
the seashore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Sally sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are surely seashells. So if she sells shells on the seashore, I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Oh man, got me on that last one. I was so close.
Yeah, I know. I think you can get through one sentence okay, but then you think, oh no,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
4 more. Yeah.
exactly.
And, I hope some of you at home are not just laughing at us, you're having a go. We have our Italian one. I think you speak Italian much better than me, so maybe you should take
So
this
I have
one
to do it. Okay.
because I can't pronounce it very well.
Okay, so all right, here we go. Embarrassing myself in front of thousands of people. Here we go. So, 33 trentini entrarono a Trento, tutti 33 trotterellando.
Okay, amazing.
All right,
Yeah,
I managed to get through it at least.
T's and R's there to get
Yeah,
through.
exactly.
So maybe the sounds are the trigger sounds, the difficult sounds are are different in different languages.
Exactly.
Welcome,
Morgana.
Yeah, nice to see you. Okay, you have escaped most of the tongue twisters, I think. Can you think of any others, Cesar, that we didn't talk about?
Oh, yes. One of my favorites, actually. Normally, I bring this one up when we talk about modals. Any ideas which one it is?
No, I can't remember, you know.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck would chuck
yes.
as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Wow, that was
Yeah.
amazing. I think that one is definitely more American because we don't have woodchucks in the UK. So, but I have heard it. It's fun. And
Yeah, that one's one of my favorites.
if
I can try
anyone
to
wants
type
to watch
it in here, but I think it'll take me a while. So
yeah, if anyone is looking for a show with this kind of verbal acrobatics, with this kind of tongue twisters happening, I really recommend a show, BoJack Horseman, which I recommend anyway
really?
for every reason. But many of the characters speak in a lot of tongue twisters all the time. A lot of
I got to check it out.
around
I've
with
never seen it. I've heard of it, but I've never actually seen it. But
you
now
will love
you've
it.
got me
You'll
curious about it because I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah. The problem is the first few episodes are not so good, but if you can survive the first few, then
that's what I've heard about a lot of
anyway,
like really good shows, like The Office and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's can be a problem when you don't give the best ideas first. So anyone with us, if you have any questions about tongue twisters, if you have any other examples, please write in the comments. And I think we'll probably move on from embarrassing ourselves now, unless Cesar, you have any other comments about this?
No, I'm good.
We'll run away.
Yeah.
So now here are some idioms. So if I read them, if you want to have a go at any meanings, at what you think they might mean, please let us know. So we have cat got your tongue, bite your tongue, on the tip of my tongue, tongue lashing, and tongue in cheek. Some tongue related idioms. They're mostly about speaking or not speaking.
Exactly.
So we have some definitions to help you, but in the wrong order. So please, in the comments, give us your ideas of what these idioms mean. Cesar, do you want to read the definitions?
Yeah, for sure. So the first one says, an expression used to get someone to speak. Number 2, you are sure you know a word or answer, but have difficulty remembering it. Number 3, when someone stops themselves from saying what they really think. Number 4, a remark that is meant to be funny or ironic. And the last one, a severe verbal scolding.
Great. So lots of different phrases there. It might be worth just explaining scolding for anyone who doesn't know. So scolding is maybe telling someone off, telling someone all the bad things that they've done, criticizing someone.
Exactly.
Here
So
is
normally with children.
Yeah, or yeah, absolutely. If someone does something wrong, scold is the verb, to scold.
Exactly. Or with your boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we've got Morgana here that said, "Cat got your tongue" is an expression used to get someone to speak.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Great. Thank you, Morgana.
Perfect. You got Patrizia with number 2. On the tip of my tongue. Perfect. So you are sure you know a word or answer but have difficulty remembering.
Okay.
On the tip of my
It's
tongue.
actually came up as number 3 here. So that's right. Okay. We also had bite your tongue in the middle, which is when someone stops themselves and saying what they really think.
Exactly.
You have a controversial opinion that you don't want to say in public.
Exactly. A severe?
Severe verbal scolding, I think Clara means.
For tongue lashing.
For
Yes.
tongue lashing, perfect.
Exactly.
Which means that the final one is a remark that is meant to be funny or ironic.
So literally, this is tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
This is your cheek.
Do you like things that are tongue in cheek?
Yeah, I do. I love to laugh, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's an interesting form of humor, maybe. Okay. Guys, please say if you have any questions here, if you use these expressions, if you don't use them. Do you use these, Cesar, often, these expressions?
I mean, I wouldn't say often.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that, well, maybe on the tip of my tongue. I think this one's the most common one that I would use.
Yeah, I think for me too. Mm-hmm.
And then the second most common one for me would be bite your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And then cat got your tongue is an expression that, I mean, it's kind of one of those expressions that's really common, but that we don't really use that much anymore. So normally you would see this in like TV shows or movies. I feel like I heard it a lot in TV shows when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can imagine lots of memes and that kind of thing about with cat got your tongue because it's quite visual.
Exactly.
But yeah, okay, it's similar in Italian. Morgana says, "Thank you." Yeah, I think I associate that more with slightly older people, maybe.
Cat got your tongue?
But yeah, I think so. If someone says it to you, or in my experience, it's been older people who said that to me or around me. But as you say, often maybe on TV, in culture. So it's a useful one for navigating that.
Exactly. Are there any other expressions that we could use that are similar to cat got your tongue? Any similar idioms?
Yeah, good question. I mean, if someone isn't responding to you at all for ages, and they maybe look at you a bit blankly, like they're very confused, you can say, "Anyone home?" Like,
oh yes,
is anything happening in your head?
Absolutely. So anyone home?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, what do you think? Are there any others you can think of?
Yeah, I was also thinking of spit it out. So when you
Mm.
have something that you want to say, but you are hesitant, maybe you don't want to offend somebody, maybe you have a secret, but you're trying to be secretive about it, spit it out.
Mhm.
Just say it.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you can even just say it, or get
Yeah,
on with it.
exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, those are possibly more common in everyday conversations. Those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about a tongue lashing? Do you use that often?
No. Again, that's one that I immediately recognize, and I have heard people say, but I don't think I often use it myself.
Mm, yeah.
Um,
I don't think I've
yeah.
ever used that one specifically.
Mm.
I think I would probably use maybe chew out, to chew someone out, especially in the
Yeah.
context of work. For
Yeah.
example, the intern made a mistake and the boss chewed him out, for example.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about maybe a school context, I would probably use to tell off. If you
Oh,
tell
yeah.
someone off, you really tell them all the negative things they did, or tell them why something is wrong.
Yeah. That's interesting because for me, as an American, I would think
Mm.
of tell off in a different context, in a
Okay.
completely different context. For us, it's more like um, I would think of maybe two adults maybe having an argument, and when they insult each other, maybe.
Mm.
For example, they say, "Oh, go to hell, you are irresponsible, you're this and that." He told him off. So for us, it's kind of like
Yeah.
to give someone a piece of your mind.
Okay. Yeah. No, I've heard that as well. I think for me, I associate it with power dynamics. Maybe one
Yeah,
person has more power than the other.
yeah, exactly.
School is an example of that, but it can translate to adults as well. Um, yeah, because I think for me, I recognize chew out, but I think that one is more American. I don't think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
use it myself. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's
this one's really common in the
yeah,
States.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, I think this is a useful one to have the American perspective as well as my
yeah,
perspective.
exactly. And for all of those people who do not know what chewing is, so
Mm.
chewing is when you are eating and you do this with your teeth to chew.
Yeah, and if anyone doesn't know, bite is the process before you chew, just that action. Yeah, when
Exactly.
you take a piece of something. So it's like you bite your tongue, you stop your tongue from moving. There, as I think Morgana says, it's similar in Italian anyway. That one. Okay, and tongue tied. We also have tongue tied
Ah,
in
yeah.
the title here, which is quite a good one. So
Exactly.
that one, you can imagine your tongue is twisting so much that you can't speak. So tongue tied. Yeah, when you have no idea what to say. Maybe if you are tongue tied, someone could say to you, "Cat got your tongue," or any of the other expressions we talked about.
Exactly. Come on, spit it out.
Cesar, I always get the impression with you that you are rarely tongue tied. Is that true?
No, I get tongue tied sometimes as well. It depends on the context, I would say.
Sure. Yeah. I think maybe everyone has those different moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can you think of any other tongue related idioms that we haven't talked about?
So tongue related idioms.
Or maybe speaking related ones?
I could probably I don't know if I could think of tongue related ones, but maybe speech related ones. For example, what do we have? Um a penny for your thoughts.
Hmm. Yeah. maybe if you are thinking a lot, you're deep in thought, and someone wants to know what you're thinking about, they can say a penny for your thoughts.
Exactly.
It can be a question or a statement depending on the situation.
Exactly. To pull out of the teeth.
Ah.
And what does that mean in Italian? Because in English we have a similar expression. We say like pulling teeth. It was like pulling teeth.
Yeah. Something that's really painful, really difficult.
Exactly. For example, maybe trying to give a cat a bath is like pulling teeth. Trying to wash a cat is like pulling teeth,
Yeah, it's something you really don't want to do. It's probably a long process as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know any other ones? Can you think of any other ones related to speech?
I'm trying to think as well. I mean, if you can hear something from the horse's mouth, maybe
Yeah.
if you hear it from the original person, it's not secondhand. It's the person it concerns.
Exactly.
Maybe
Straight
you
from
can
the
say it's
horse's
not.
mouth.
Yeah, it's not gossip. It's straight from the horse's mouth. I know it's true.
Perfect. So Morgana said here that speaking frankly. So pull out of the teeth in Italian is when you speak frankly. So
maybe probably
something like
speak
that.
from the heart in English.
Yes, exactly. Speaking
Yeah,
from
so
the
just
heart.
a different body part there.
Exactly.
We also have an interesting one from Chiara here, a person who talks a lot. It's called long tongue, which
A
I
long tongue.
like. That's nice.
That's funny.
I don't think that one translates. We do have someone who speaks very, very eloquently, very well. You can say is a silver tongue. Again, that's
Silver tongue. I
one.
hadn't heard this one before.
That's probably not one that I would use, but it's definitely one that I hear around, maybe in culture. So it's maybe someone who persuades you quite easily, someone who has very silver words.
Gotcha. Like a smooth, operator.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but it's
Like silver
specifically
tongue.
about speech.
Okay, cool. So to say something without filters. Oh, okay, yeah. So that was the pull out of the teeth. Straight from the horse's mouth, silver tongue.
Great.
I had another one in mind. Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
And I think this one exists in Italian and in other languages as well. So speak of the devil is when you are talking about somebody or about something even, and that thing or that person appears. And this is short for the expression speak of the devil and
he will come, something like that.
And he will come, yeah, exactly. Well, in Italian, they say, speak of the devil, and horns will appear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. This reminds me of quite a useful expression if you do want to connect parts of a speech. If you want to change the topic a bit, you can say, speaking of, just as a connection. So maybe someone mentions maybe the government, for example, in a sentence, and you say, "Speaking of the government, did you
hear about blah blah blah?"
And that's short for speaking of which, but most of the time now we just say speaking of.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the pronoun.
Yeah. You can say speaking of blah blah blah, Or speaking of which, if you don't want to repeat that word.
Yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah. Okay. I think we've had lots of great expressions there. I don't think
we could go on for days.
The cat has not got our tongues today. So there are a few more.
Case, huh?
We have a few more on this slide now. I think we mentioned a couple of these already.
Oh yeah, silver tongue.
Yeah. So with example sentences. So maybe if you have a crush on someone, if you have an attraction to someone. So a crush, like romantic attraction to someone, maybe can be quite minor, or it can be serious. Maybe it depends on the person.
Kind of like an infatuation, we can say.
Yeah. And to crush is also a verb. You can say you crush on someone if you have a crush. But to crush alone is like to flatten something using it very, very heavily. So you can imagine if you have a crush, it feels like your heart is flattened by something. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have a crush, maybe you get tongue-tied. Maybe you can't speak very easily.
Exactly.
Okay. The second one we haven't talked about yet. Do you want to take that one?
Yeah. So I meant to say hi, Bob, but instead I said bye, Bob. It was a total slip of the tongue. So slip in English is not the same as in Italian. So it is not related to underwear. Okay. So slip in English is when maybe you are walking and the floor is wet and you slip. So slip comes from this, but we also use it to say that we make a mistake. So a slip of the tongue is when you misspeak. So we can make a mistake or we can misspeak. So miss can be a prefix not only for the verb take, but also for other verbs. For example, misspeak, misunderstand, mispronounce. In this case, it's when you misspeak.
Yeah, I would say that miss is generally when you do something wrong.
Exactly.
The prefix. You could also maybe talk about a related idiom is a Freudian slip. If you make a mistake that reveals something that you are really thinking about.
Exactly. In some cases, when you have a slip of the tongue and maybe you say something that could offend somebody, in this case, and you're trying to kind of make light of the situation and tell the person, hey, it was unintended, I didn't mean to offend you. We can say, I have my foot in my mouth. Let me get my foot out of my mouth.
Mm.
Do you guys use that? Would you use that?
I use that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely sometimes feel like you have a foot in your mouth.
Exactly.
And I've even not commonly, but I have heard people even saying I had my whole leg in my mouth if they really want to make it even stronger.
Exactly. Or I have 2 feet in my mouth.
Yeah. But yeah, we have a lot of these idioms here. I'm sure we have missed a lot of them. So we have one more here, which is very similar to a previous one. So I would hold your tongue is very similar to bite your tongue. It's just you can imagine using your hands to hold your tongue back, to restrain your tongue. rather than your teeth. But there isn't a difference that I can think of between them.
I just thought of another one with tongue. It's a little bit unrelated, but to lock tongues.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be like to French kiss, as we say in English. So lock tongues or French kiss. In Italian, the verb for this is to lemon. So for all of the Italian speakers there, to lemon is to lock tongues.
Yeah, I think some people also say to use tongue as well, like
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
in a similar context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to lock tongues is a little bit more intense though when it's, because it's
Yes. Yeah.
locked together, it's connected and you
Yeah.
cannot, separate it.
Mm-hmm.
Normally teenagers in public.
Yeah. One other thing that we didn't mention that's I think would probably translate also is a tongue can also be another word for a language.
Yeah, exactly.
And we often talk about your mother tongue, your original language. Or,
I feel like this
original
one is a little bit more British though, because normally we would use native language instead.
Sure.
But we would say, for example, speaking tongues. In like a biblical context or.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. If it's a very angelic, heavenly experience, maybe you can say.
Exactly.
We were speaking in tongues.
Exactly.
We weren't in control anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why do you think there are so many tongue idioms?
Well, actually, I was reading an article about this the other day on this website. I don't remember what it's called, but it's on the tip of my tongue. No, I don't know.
No. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What do you think?
Maybe it's I don't know. I mean, maybe body language in particular, or any part of the body is quite common because you use what's around you maybe to create idioms. So lots of food, lots of body parts, lots of colors, and I guess tongue because it's speech. Then maybe it just intensifies. I don't know.
Exactly, and I think it's something that kind of easily translates over, regardless of the language or culture or, where you're from, anybody, can really understand it,
Yeah.
So I think it's easier to understand.
Yeah. So I think we have a few minutes left. So now maybe we can talk about using these with questions, and please in the comments write your own answers to these questions. So Cesar, do you find it difficult to bite your tongue in some situations?
Yeah. I would say in situations that maybe get me worked up or kind of angry, mad. It's harder to bite your tongue in those kinds of situations because emotions get the better of you.
Yeah, and I think sometimes maybe it's important to bite your tongue if you think you're going to say something you regret later.
Absolutely.
It's someone you're very close to, maybe.
Exactly.
But in other circumstances, maybe you need to get something out there. You need to say something.
Exactly.
So
you got to get it off your chest.
Case. Yeah, another body idiom there.
Exactly.
This also reminds me we should maybe mention the past tense of bite because it's irregular.
Yeah, of course.
It goes to bit. So we have bite, bit, and then bitten. Yeah. Although I think this is one of the strange ones where I think it's changing into just bit for the past, for the present part, for the participle as well.
Oh, really?
Because I have definitely heard before I have bit into something.
Yeah.
Not so much, yeah, but I think it's one of those where it's maybe people are confused about it, maybe young people are confused, so they use bit for the participle also.
Oh,
Even
okay.
though bitten
I think I'm a
is the
little bit too old for that now. Age. You can't teach an old dog new
well,
tricks, Emily.
no. I mean, I also would use bitten myself.
Okay.
But I think it's maybe one of those where people are
Yeah,
confused and it
slowly kind
changes
of
the language.
changing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is nice because sometimes it becomes sometimes
Easier.
it's simplifying the language, or sometimes it's making it more complex in interesting ways.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. It also reminds me of ways we can use bite metaphorically. So we're using bite your tongue metaphorically here.
Yeah.
Also, if you say to someone, "I'll bite," it's saying, "I will take the bait. I will do what you want me to."
Exactly.
Maybe someone is trying to get you to ask about something, and you say, "Okay, I'll bite. Tell me about it."
Exactly. So bait, as you mentioned, so bait is basically what you use when you are fishing. When you're fishing, you have the fishing rod, you have the line, which goes in the water, then you have the hook. And normally on the hook, you put maybe some kind of fish or maybe something that looks like a fish, and you use that as bait. So as something to attract fish. So in
Yeah.
this case, it's like you're trying to get this person interested in what you want to talk about. So you're kind of giving them this bait, and then they decide to either bite or not take the bait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can also
As
say,
you say, take.
for example, before we were talking about chewing people out or telling people off, and we have a similar expression with bite, to bite someone's head off.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe if you say something quite gently and someone responds with unnecessary anger, say, don't bite my head off. I was only trying to talk to
Exactly.
you. And
So, for
yeah,
example, hi Emily, how are you?
oh, I'm really bad today, actually. I'm having a terrible day.
Whoa, don't bite my head off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's that kind of situation there. And yeah, I would say that these bite idioms are maybe more common than some of the tongue ones we talked about
Yeah,
earlier.
I agree. We
Maybe
use
because
these
it's
much
more
more.
physical. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
also get a bite,
Mm,
which means to get food. Let's get a bite to eat, or let's get a bite. Let's get some food.
yeah. Yeah. So again, and a bite can just be a very small quantity of something. It's like a mouthful, the quantity you can eat at one time, but we can also use it more generally just for eating.
Exactly.
And
So this one's a little
actually,
bit similar to
yeah,
Italian in a way.
actually that might, I don't know enough about technology language, but that might be where byte as a computer,
Ah,
um,
yeah.
what would it be? Gigabytes or
Yeah,
kilobytes. That might be
exactly.
where that comes from, even though that's spelled with a Y and
Exactly.
not an
To
I.
differentiate maybe, but I think
Yeah,
it does have, something to do with that, that
yeah.
origin.
'Cause, I mean, certainly they're both about quantities, or they can be. So
Exactly.
that's an interesting correlation there.
Yeah.
But I think we are pretty much out of time now. So if anyone has any final questions, now is the time to ask us. Cesar, do you have anything else you want to mention?
Maybe one last expression with bite. To bite off more than you can chew. So
Great
this
one.
one kind of combines bite and chew. So to bite off more than you can chew is when you try to do something that is too difficult or too much for you. For example, my boss asks me, "Oh, can you do this project alone and finish it by tomorrow?" I say, "Yeah, no problem." But in reality, this project is too big for me to finish by myself by tomorrow. Maybe if I had a team of 5 people, or maybe if I had more time, I could do it. But in this case, I bit off more than I could chew.
Yeah, really, really useful one. And it can be a warning as well. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think we need to stop there. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone, and we'll see you again soon, hopefully.
Thank you, guys. Have a
Thanks,
nice
guys.
day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.